Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Board meeting!
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemon Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
As well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough and
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is not Chris. It's Brian. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the everyone report to the paddock. Off to a blistering start. Everyone report to the paddock.
That's
This is not
staying in.
Chris.
Sorry,
It's Brian.
I'm not editing that out.
He'll fix it in post. Okay. Everyone report to the paddock. This is not Chris. It's Brian.
This is not Chrissy. It's Shellie.
Some people call me Timber after shoving a 20 in this G-string, but I'm Randy.
Unfortunately, I'm still mental, but this is still Everyone Racers. Welcome to a Monteverdi episode of our podcast. We're going to talk about some rookie race mistakes, but let's take a moment to acknowledge the Monteverdi 375 high speed. This Swiss supercar was launched in 1975. It was one of the most expensive vehicles you could buy in the 60s. Powered by a Chrysler 440 V8, it was 10,600 pounds. Not weight, cost, the currency to buy it. That was 30% more than a Lamborghini Espada, Ferrari Daytona, and twice the price of a Jensen FF. Now, to save everyone but Donnie the time to do the math, that is about $220,000 today. By 1976, the emissions-choked Mopar engines contributed to the termination of that vehicle. Total production is believed to be around 100 of them. But I say it's right on the nose. If you want to build a European touring supercar, just call it the high speed.
It's interesting looking.
It's the you should see the video. It's fantastic. They sound great, you know.
Really?
Looks like a touring Ferrari, sounds like a Charger. It's great.
Huh.
It's so
I
great.
didn't actually look at this thing. It looks like someone explained what a Jensen Interceptor looks like to someone that's never seen a car. It's like, yeah, I guess it's there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. All right. So obviously we were working through some scheduling stuff, and I said the heck with it, and I brought in the A team on this one. So you guys all got kicked down to the minor league. Sorry. We'll kick this off with what you working on. Brian, it's been almost a week.
Yeah. So since I was lucky enough to be here last week, the one thing that I worked on was slipping into a coma for 4 days, thanks to a lovely sinus infection, which you might hear rattling around later on. But an odd thing, since I didn't get to work on any vehicles while I was laid up, I was telling somebody that I was in a band back in 2001 at work, and she's like, "Oh, is your music on Spotify?" I'm like, "No." And she goes, "Well, why don't you put it on Spotify?" So I figured it out, and as of this morning, my band from 2001, our music has appeared on Spotify. Tornado Green, nothing special. That's
We're gonna need that
like
link
2001.
We're gonna need the link for our show notes on that one. That is totally going on there. That is awesome.
I hope for dozens of listens, because I know my Briscoe County Junior thing went from 21 to 25 after last episode. So I'm really excited to get at least 4 listens. So.
What was everybody else doing in 2001? Do you remember?
Who was?
I had just graduated college, and I was still kicking around Omaha, Nebraska, trying to talk this perfectly level-headed, reasonable woman into marrying me and moving all around the country with the dazzling, glamorous life of a military spouse.
Awesome. I just graduated high school.
I knew that was going to hurt me. I knew it was going to hurt.
Not only had I graduated college, I graduated college and I didn't start till I was 28.
I mean, you said 2001, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had started the first grade.
Well,
Good night,
thanks
everyone.
for bringing us all down, Randy. Good
Yeah.
job.
Here's the fun fact too is the day we were in the studio was the day that Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, because I went upstairs to watch the end of the Daytona 500. I saw the crash, and they're like, "We need you downstairs to record your guitar tracks." And I'm like, "There's 3 more laps." And I saw the crash, and I'm like, "He's fine." And I went back downstairs. I didn't find out for like hours what had
man, I
happened.
can't wait till Dale hears this recording. I did it just for him.
But it's how I remember when it happened.
To be fair, Dale, before it was a cute little phrase in the movie, Dale pretty much was a crash or first kind of guy. And experience had taught us that he's fine.
He's fine. Yeah, wreckers or checkers. That was Dale.
Oh.
So, Shellie?
Yeah.
now that we're all sad, let's bring it up a notch.
Yeah.
Bring us back up.
Well,
I'm sorry, you two just called us old. Who's more depressed?
You asked a question, I gave an answer. Well, now that we've determined that you guys are up for prostate exams and Dale's still dead, what are you working on?
I'm working on all kinds of things. We're forever working on our RV. So anytime we go anywhere that we're taking the RV, this thing just there's always something wrong. And for whatever reason these days, it's always the brakes. We have got like the worst problems with the brakes on this thing, and we're getting ready to head down to Daytona for the Rolex, and it's supposed to like ice and snow and all this stuff this week. So I'm sure it's going to be a great trip. It's going to be wonderful, and nothing is going to go wrong. But we'll see. Outside of that, we're working on a B210 for lemons at CMP in April. And outside of racing, working on sourdough in my garden and my mental health, apparently, because everything just keeps going wrong.
And nothing can go wrong. Oh no!
Right.
All RVs are just rolling repairs. RVs,
yeah.
they're all just problems.
That's what the R stands for. It's a repair vehicle.
I'm starting to believe that, but it has been like so fun to be able to like stay at the track when you go to the track. So I will forever continue to fix it just so I can continue to do that. So
I got mine, and that was exactly why. I knew it was a bad financial investment, didn't care rather, and it was great. And now I'm out here on the West Coast, and most of the tracks out here, like, they don't have hookups, it's just dry camping, and you end up sleeping in the garages at Button Willow anyway. But yeah, so I keep saying I'm going to fix everything wrong with it and sell it, but add to the project pile.
Yeah. And it's like, you just get it there and you're like, man, I hate everything about this. I'm going to fix it when I get home. And then you don't until next time. And you're like, really should have fixed the brakes because now I'm on the interstate for smoking. So that's always a good time.
Oopsie, what was that thing we wanted to do before we left? I don't know. We ain't got time. Get going. Get rolling.
Right.
Oh yeah, it was the brakes.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's always the brakes with that thing, which is like the worst possible thing,
These are the brakes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we tow with that municipal bus that was retired, and we call it the Gay Hound. And coming back from Road America, I was like, okay, I've got all of this stuff I need to fix, and I made the list and I put it on my refrigerator.
And it's still
and
there.
that was the end of it. Yeah, I made the list and I put it on my fridge to look at every day and do nothing. So I know what's broken when I go back.
Yep. I found the best way to have a sense of success when you make a checklist is to have the first thing on your checklist be make the checklist. So you at least have one box to check if you do nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
Make a checklist. Check.
It's like taking the SATs and getting those sweet free points for writing your name.
Yes.
Same idea.
I'm thinking of Glenn from Accepted again. Yeah.
Excellent. So, Randy, you've changed locations.
Yeah, my wife and I, we bought our first house like a couple of weeks ago, and Thank you. It is a house. It is completely functional, and I love it in all of those regards. However, it's a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Like I'm probably about a mile from the closest pavement, just way out on a lake, and everything has been kind of pieced together for 2, 3, 70 years, something like that. And so the decorating that exists and all of the stuff that my wife is currently doing and wants to do, like we've got projects going on all the time, but the whole feng shui of the place is like a Queer Eye episode for Ted Kaczynski. Hold on, let me see if I can get this terrible webcam to like point up.
Holy Unabomber manifesto, Batman! Oh my
That
sweet and
is the
fancy
ceiling.
Lord.
Oh, that's fancy.
But yes, that is the ceiling to this bedroom. So
let me just paint the picture, listener, if you're not watching this on YouTube. That ceiling looks like the carpet in the Sorry for Party limo's gonna look. That's basically what's going on.
It looked like somebody explained camouflage to someone who's never seen camouflage and only had green, black, and white.
Camouflage leopard print.
Yeah, it's a
like
leopard print camouflage.
Like a woman's legging.
Well, I also found out that the way things are done here, I call it the Jack way. Jack is the last guy that lived here, him and his wife. And the Jack way is like 80% the correct way and 20% complete and utter bullshit. So I know Jack did the ceilings in the bedrooms because in the other bedroom, I never looked up in that room until we bought the place and moved in for the first night. Oh. And I look up, and the Jack way of doing drywall is like all the drywall sections are laid out perfectly. It's done nice and square, but all of the mud was applied with a shovel. So you can see every bit of tape. You can see every screw. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I guarantee he did the same in this room. And then this kid looked up one day when he was old enough to know better and be like, I want the most opaque thing you can put over this. And this is what we got. This beautiful camo Jackson Pollock.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris would be mad at me if we didn't point out that the most effective tool to ensure that the mudding and taping is done smooth over your drywall is a checkbook. So
I have done a lot of drywall in my day, and I will now pay someone. I don't care how big or small that job is.
Exactly.
I will forever pay someone.
Two rules of drywall. They, use your checkbook, and whoever does it should not have English as their first language. It doesn't matter what accent, but they should be speaking English with an accent.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a counter to that. Mine was, I had a friend of mine do it who is an engineer who has extreme OCD. Yeah, and he speaks perfect English, but it is smooth as glass where he did that drywall.
It took 3 years?
Yeah, but the cost was right. No, he did it like a day and a half, but he did the whole ceiling in my kitchen, and it was like a sheet of glass. It was the smoothest I've ever seen.
All right, that is impressive. All right.
Yeah.
Exploiting that neurospicy tendencies of your friends. Well played.
Yeah. My drywall efforts are just, it's good enough. I'm done.
You can spot a lot of places and a lot of houses where you just reach the point of
it's good enough. I'm done.
Bucket. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's like the one corner you turn and that was like, yep, we were just tired of it looking that way.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look better, but it looks different. And that
yeah. It looks like somebody tried. That's good.
Good enough.
There you go. We call this room participation trophy. So as of literally 2 hours ago, I am Miata-less. In fact, I don't own, I own cars, but I don't own a normal street growing vehicle. My wife's got a nice car, but I've just got my ugly F-250 and the limo right now.
You're Miata-less now?
I am Miata-less.
Congratulations,
everyone.
Yes, the Indy is going on to a new home. Thank you, CarMax. Little bit of interesting. So I started doing the research on selling this car, and Carvana had offered me 14. And then they
Dollars?
sent me an they sent me an email. They said, "Hey, we've been tracking the car's value. It's dropped $200. We will now offer you 13.8." And I clicked on the, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And that 13.8 immediately became 10.8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I drove it down to CarMax and they gave me a little bit more representative offer on that one. But even that one dropped from their initial offer. So those companies apparently track vehicles so accurately that a nationwide drop in temperature that reduces the demand for convertibles will inadvertently. I should have sold it when it was pretty.
Yeah. That's what I said about my ex-wife.
Ah!
Man, I got some really bad news for you, bud. I was out driving earlier today, and a Carvana truck passed me with a Nissan Altima on the back, which tells me that today is the opening day of tax return season. You could have held out for like 3 more hours, man.
Yes, and all of those taxed refunded GPS tracked Altimas will be running around Las Vegas on their space saver spares with expired paper plates in 4 months. Yeah. So, but one other thing, major incident that happened. Go ahead. What's your question?
No, sorry. I was like, paper plates expire? I need to eat off something else. I was nervous for a second. Sorry.
Paper tag. So that
would okay. Yeah. I broke Randy.
Where's this registered? Dixie. What the hell?
Oh, a few years ago, I was judging the race down in Houston, and there was an effort from Battlescarred Motorsports, and they partnered up with Ranger Road, and they were building an all-hand controlled Crown Victoria for disabled veterans and first responders, because Ranger Road has that Golf, and they brought in some local talent to teach them how to drive it, and that was Kara Berend. And Kara Berend is a wheelchair athlete and super awesome driver, and she's funny as hell, and we'll have a link to her Instagram on there. She's a drift driver and she does some off-road stuff, and she had announced that she was selected as a land speed driver for a new Project 213 and 26, and it is a group of disabled veterans in honor of the 213 people that the 4 guys lost in their career are going to be taking a 63 Karmann Ghia in the Salt Flats in 2 years and going after the land speed record, which for a Ghia or for an air-cooled Volkswagen, I believe somewhere in the high 180s.
Whoa.
And yeah, inspired by this and one of my quest to be a better veteran, they said they were looking for volunteers, and I am now the pit manager for Project 213 and 26. So we've all got to get on a phone. So you'll hear me yamming on about that for a while. But yeah, the goal this year is to get it to the Salt Flats and get it up to 130, maybe 150. And then next year with a new methanol, he explained it all to me. And it was all math homework after a certain point. I'm like, I understand the words you're using. I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, yeah.
Which wrench did you want?
Yeah, exactly. So,
do you want me to hold a different flashlight?
That's a metric flashlight. You're going to need that. Yeah. So we'll have links to all that in the show notes on there. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And everyone strap in for a second here, because the man who lives in a cabin out by a lake in the middle of the woods is about to go on a rant because it is time for news and notes.
Well, when you put it like that, Alina,
you're making me sound like a crazy person.
Where's my foil hat? Where's my foil hat? Alina Selyukh over at NPR wrote a piece about, to keep it short and simple, in the last week, the Federal Trade Commission, Illinois and Minnesota has come together to sue John Deere. And thank Christ they have. Because if you've lived under a rock since 2015 or so, John Deere is really good at not wanting to let farmers repair their very, very expensive equipment that they sell them, that they need to, I don't know, grow food and important things like that. And once you look further into it, you realize that if, the FTC was still like a very powerful agency, this government would be ripping through John Deere faster than Sherman ripped through Georgia, just because John Deere is just the worst. But they have made it very difficult for private parties to repair their things, and this is the ongoing legal battle, and a lot of things kind of depend on this, because if John Deere can get away with this, what do you think Volkswagen's going to do to your daily? Like, can you imagine how hard all of the crap that we currently drive is to fix? Imagine how hard that's going to be whenever, they all have their different flavors of diagnostic ports, and oh no, you need this particular scanner if you want to retract, your caliper pistons on a brake job. This is kind of important, folks, and it's just kind of disheartening that this is still a fight.
We're down with this. This is something we've been following for years. Jeff still gets hot under the collar about this because they were Subaru was banning it in, like, was it New England, Massachusetts, and the commercials were just this absolute fear-mongering campaign of, oh, you let anyone repair your car. Now they know where it is at all the time, and they're hiding in the shadows to murder you. And, this is, I hate it.
Like, it's, man, the future kind of sucks sometimes.
My dad is going to be heartbroken. Now, he's like a John Deere super fan, but he's only ever owned a lawnmower. So yeah, he hasn't had to replace something on a combine that required a $2,000 diagnostic to replace a $50 part.
Yeah, he hasn't been required to get a John Deere certified tech out in like a 3-day like harvest window.
That's what it's not like all these things are being used year round. They're all going to be at peak usage at the same time. And when they break, people are going to lose their houses because their thing won't go. There was an article about how the world of hackers is basically jailbroken a lot of these John Deeres, though.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful in that way. And I think we could fix this problem and honestly most of the world's problems if most MBA programs, like if 1 out of every 3 people getting an MBA was just chucked into a volcano right there on stage, I think we could solve a lot of things.
I've never agreed with anything more than that statement right there.
And hooking people into a volcano.
Yeah.
No. Not people, MBAs. There's a
very specific difference.
Not people.
They're
not people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyone that speaks in EBITDA and ROI can
the
FO.
Venn diagram of people and MBAs are 2 circles and they don't touch.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, that's where I am in that one.
Fair enough. On to me. Oh, this is exciting. Are you looking for a job? Do you love to travel? Like to drive? Personable, but too cool for the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Well, Christopher Smith at Motor One has the opportunity for you. We're thrilled to announce that applications are now open for our 4th class of Peanutters, said Patrick Corbus, Director of Marketing at Planters. As energetic ambassadors of the brand, our Peanutters travel the country spreading smiles and joy to millions of people each year. They do want recent graduate from communication or marketing types, and yeah, you're on the road 200 days a year, but the Nutmobile has been around longer than the Wienermobile, dating back to 1935. The current version entered service back in 2018. It's a 26-foot-long GM 6-liter Vortec V8 powered Peanut. Unlike your bun-styled rivals, what you'll get has gull-wing doors and leather seats. It sits on a dually chassis and weighs about 13,000 pounds, roughly the same as 3 million peanuts. For those whose nut knowledge is lacking, that's about 13,000 pounds. So 3 positions are available, all full-time with benefits, and the application lists that the pay is at $45K a year. Now, if that's not enough money for someone like you or, say, Shellie, at least you get to say, as Tim Burr told us beforehand, or maybe this was Mental's joke, I don't know. At least you get to say, hey, what are you driving? Deez nuts. And then, I mean, that's worth the pay differential right there.
There are people that would pay to be able to say that all the time.
Right. Why don't I just pay planters to be able to say Deez nuts to everybody that has 200 days a year travel?
I'm just shocked that, because this is the only time where it's acceptable to be looking for recent grads for up to 3 positions in my nutmobile, where that can be asked for, and whoever's asking it is not banned from, I don't know, public school grounds.
Yeah.
Once you zoom back just a little bit on this one, it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I'd say if they put that ad on Racing Junk, they better pay for picture. Hard sell.
Very nice. But
on a long enough timeline, everything gets an LS, including Deez nuts. Amazing. Just the Pulitzers in the mail, folks. That's it right there.
Job done. That's right.
All right. Well, Brian, you got the fun article. I'm here to bring everybody back down a notch. So if you weren't already sad today, I'm going to really not help you make that any better. Lewin Day tells us that some of the beloved Top Gear cars from the show's heyday are doomed to be recycled into air fryers. The red Mini that was launched from Ski Jump, Clarkson's Fiat Panda Stretch Limo, and the airship Captain Slow flew. Oh my gosh, I totally messed that up.
You're doing great.
The airship Captain Slow flew through an airport's air. There's too many airs in there. Airports have all been deemed too far gone to save. Unfortunately, for a variety of legal reasons, they cannot be sold. But all is not lost. Many of the vehicles have been resold to survive.
Rehomed. It was supposed to be rehomed. I'm sorry, auto-corrected me.
Rehomed. And now live in a museum, including, I don't know what you wrote.
I'm sorry, it's supposed to be indestructible. Man, autocorrect. What is with you today?
You are so close. You had so close.
Somewhere driving Chrissy is in her car going, it's not just me, he does it to everyone.
I am the wannabe Chrissy, so hopefully I feel but if you want to check out the real words and how that's supposed to be read, you can pop over to the Autopia to check that out. There's a Top Gear article there for you.
Yes, I do love that. Fittingly enough, the one of the cars that is going to survive is the indestructible Toyota Hilux. That is one.
Yeah. That will be destructed.
No, they're keeping it.
Oh, they are keeping that one. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I think to get rid of it, you have to put it in that specific landfill where they put asbestos debris and stuff like that. So it's probably just cheaper to leave it in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah,
they'd have to do abatement.
They'd have to drive it to the mountain where they store all the nuclear waste and everything out here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, if you'd sold me Yucca Mountain as a project, where you just stuff a mountain full of old, beat up Toyota pickups, would have been funded in an hour.
But all of it would have to go to the security system to keep all the old Toyota guys from going in there and trying stealing stuff off of it.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, watching them.
People stealing parts.
There it is. Hey, are you looking for a new and interesting death?
Every moment of my life.
Yeah. Exactly. Just so you know, and you do know, Racing Junk has you covered. How about an Oldsmobile Aurora running land speed car? Yes, it's a thing. There it is. It is in Orland, California. It is $8,000. It comes with all of those Aurora V8 parts. It's got everything you need. This was a running General Motors funded 96 Oldsmobile Aurora. It's only got 860 total miles on it. It's got a 4-liter North Star running engine. Its e-production comes with another 4.6-liter North Star. So it's 2 engines, 2 new piston sets, a short block assembled, another block, extra crankshafts, heads, 6 of them, takeoff stock parts, gasket sets, and many more. It has already run Bonneville and Muroc, which is that other dry lake bed. And this thing is just packed full of parts. And you know what else? They didn't skip on that membership, because there are 9 photos of boxes of bits that come with this Oldsmobile Aurora. And I can't think of anything that would be just better to go screaming across the salt with than an orphaned General Motors product. There is zero fail in this.
Well, you just sold a Miata. Why don't you go pick that guy up? See what you can do with it.
There you go.
I don't think Carvana wants this, you know. They look it up on their sheets and they're like, Oldsmobile Aurora land speed car. Is this a Mad Lib? Like, they're like,
Right.
where's that
You're not
going
buying
again?
that for its resale value, Brian.
No, you are not at all.
Whoever built that, I love you. And get help.
I don't know. This was the NBA that shouldn't have been yucked into the volcano, because they went before a board of GM directors in the 90s and said, stay with me, bro.
Guys,
Hear me
Land
out.
speed Oldsmobile.
I've got this idea. You're going to want to hear it.
Man, the drugs really were better in the 90s.
Yes, I would love to see Jay and Nick and Eric act out this one on GM Boardroom Theater. Well, Eric does the hair and goes, so guys, I was thinking we could take that new V8 Oldsmobile sedan and set a land speed record with it.
Well, what do we got in our stock? Well, we got a 4-door family car.
That should work fine.
It's swoopy. It looks aerodynamic. Yeah, just here, take the car. Go away, kid.
We drove it past a wind tunnel.
Oh, all right. So, upcoming races. Nope. Shellie, you were talking about your on the way down for the snow.
The Rolex. Is
Yeah.
that like, so for us, that's like the kickoff to the racing season every year. So we go every year, we camp every year. We try to stay for as much of the race as possible, but weather is a big determining factor in that in recent years. So that's like my big thing, is the Rolex. And word on the street is that Lemon's going to have a little meetup while we're down there. So tell all your friends.
Yeah, Donnie's down there doing brand ambassador stuff, and I remember I got the one year I was fast enough for the draw to get the Grassroots Motorsports Super Willy Wonka tickets, and that like got you into
Nice.
everything. It was awesome.
Wow.
That
It
would
was a
be
great
cool.
time.
That's on my bucket list. I've never been. That looks like a
Oh, gosh.
big time.
Oh, you
Yeah.
should go to the Rolex. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It really is, and yeah, it is a interesting cross section of humanity, especially at 2:00 in the morning.
I
right.
believe the historical cars this year are going to do not just pace laps, but I think they're actually going to do like a little race action, from what I've heard. So
Exciting.
That
Yeah.
should be fun. Okay. All right. So we've got time for some listener feedback, and close that window.
Also, I guess since I won't be on your next
Oh.
show, I know the first Lemons race, February 1st and 2nd, even though you got it grayed out at Barber, if you want to come there and be judged by the best Lemons judge ever, I'm going.
Shellie, you're
be
going to
there,
work
Brian.
Barber this year?
I'm not going to be there, Brian.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. In case you were confused, I needed to show you something.
But are you going to dress up as me? Are you going to be Judge Shellie?
I'm going to dress up as
That
Judge
would
Shellie.
not be unsettling
I think you
at
should
all.
do it.
I'm sorry. Do you have one of these?
Actually, I
don't.
do.
I don't. Nope.
Got that in Colorado. Guy shipped it to my house. It weighs a ton.
Oh,
Nope.
that's
I
their
got a
Christmas
little
thing.
I got a little like dumpster fire for a judge's trophy though. It
I
like
think
lit up in the like blue little paper flames, but
I kind of okay. I am jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
I do have one that says best lemons judge ever, but it's this big, so I misplaced it.
Well,
and
if you're a
Brian.
size queen like me, I win.
Oh, yeah, it's in here somewhere. But yeah, that was actually a pit race, yeah, a number of years ago. Oh, all right. So, Tim had talked about his Corvette. He showed it dumping fluid all over there, but he actually got it running. It was a nicked wire. And while he had his very expensive brake calipers off, he got into the car and pushed the brake pedal, and the pistons ejected themselves. So he said, just a bit of a PSA is don't mash the brake pedal when the brakes are off the rotors and there's no pads in there. And our good friend DJ914 said, "Hey, thanks for the safety tip, Egon."
Not shooting ticks. That's amazing. Oh, so
next one's you, Brian.
The next one's me. That's me. So Phil Mingus said, "Womp womp."
Hash on Insta said 1 step up and 2 steps back. I'm not sure of the context, but yeah, I'm wholeheartedly there.
So in the last episode on Facebook, Greg O'Brien said, really curious about this topic, but it says the video is private. If the password is pi out to the 374th place for episode 374, I'm not playing.
Nope, just dumb. Just to manage to put it up private. Don't know, it's not like I haven't been doing this for 350 some odd episodes.
I know. It turns out, the episode that I was on had more than one problem. So, Al Jones started the hashtag free Brian, because of course I was up in some sort of internet prison. On the YouTubes, he also added, I have The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. on DVD. I love and hate you people for making me feel seen right now. Al Jones, love and hate you too, bro.
Hold on, I'm Googling this because I'm not old.
Wow.
Briscoe County Jr.?
I have no idea what on earth.
Well, apparently you didn't watch the last episode.
That's it. Bruce Campbell. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I'll accept that.
Here, and just so Al knows, I also have the box set.
Why did you have that ready so quickly?
Because my TV's right here, and so are all of my videos, because I'm sort of organized.
Hardest working chin in Hollywood.
The best judges ever, like wall mount trophy. Do you think he could pick up a set of DVDs?
Thank you, Shellie. That's why you're the best.
No lie.
I have your. Let me know if you want me to deliver your trophy.
Trophy for it.
Yeah. Would you like me to bring this to your place?
I can hang this on your wall instead.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got this thing, but who has a whole Mini Cooper with her on it? I'm just saying.
That's just me. Just me.
Yep.
A lot of good points. Where were we? Let's see. Oh, Stankinator. Stankinator shared the story about the FAA and the scholarship issues with a cautionary tale of, so I strongly advise parents of energetic children to not take them to a doctor who may be inclined to make such a diagnosis unless the situation is truly dire. Yes. The way that line was split, I'm like, it's telling them not to take children to Doctor Who. Of course not. He's a TV show. No. Shit, Tyler, great advice.
All right, and it looks like Greg O'Brien is back. He says, great episode on a fairly elusive topic, interesting observations and anecdotes on the unique scatterplot of personalities that go to Lemons looking for a race and actually find a community to call home when they didn't know that was possible.
Nice.
Valid.
Good quote. I like that, Greg O'Brien.
No,
unique scatterplot of personalities. That's yes.
It's pretty spot on.
That's
Yeah.
nailed it.
Scatterplot is a word I'm going to try and work into sentences as often as possible during my next exercise. I suspect she may not listen, but then again, if they're on a road trip, she might. And even though Chrissy isn't here, we cannot have a show where we don't sincerely thank Chrissy's mom. So
Hi, Chrissy's
Thank you,
mom.
Chrissy's mom.
Thank you.
the scatter plot of people who love Chrissy's mom is just one very, very, very dark dot because everybody loves Chrissy's mom.
It would look like a cookie, would you not say?
I've had
Mm.
Chrissy's
Oh,
cookies because she
well
makes
done.
cookies for a race. Chrissy's
I haven't
mom.
had them yet. I need to
Oh.
hopefully pit race. Pit race Chrissy's
how did
mom?
how did you go through the last pit race and not have any? Like
I
they
was
had like a
I
whole
was
separate
there.
trailer. It was awesome. Yeah, that is
I was
yeah,
too busy
okay.
being heckled by Waldorf, Statler, and whatever.
Like, Tim didn't even there was a box just for Kim, and then they're like Tim was like, "I'm taking these. These are mine now."
Oh, those were those cookies. Yes. Okay, I did. Kim did share one. Tim did not. Yeah.
If you have to steal them, Brian, you just steal them. Don't ask questions. Don't ask.
Okay,
them.
I was still getting my feet under me. That I think I don't know if
Yeah,
that was
that-
my first race with Kim or not. So
So you just well, you don't steal from Kim, but everybody else is fair game.
no.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, really. That is, it's one of the, the henchmen at the beginning of like the 80s action film that, you got caught stealing from me. Here's some horrible, overthought out punishment so that the audience knows how naughty I am as a villain. Yeah, that's Kim. Don't steal from Kim.
No.
Okay. This is another Brian topic, actually. So we subcontracted a couple of show topics to Brian, and he like totally outperformed it. And when he came up with this one, I knew we already had a scheduling conflict. We weren't going to be able to get the crew together, and I thought, who'd be perfect at this?
Shellie.
And then exactly, and then we're like, oh, you know what, Randy too, because
Yes.
all of us, good and or bad. Not only have we been on both sides of the equation, but Randy managed to find another point in this equation that did not exist prior to Road America. And it is this. So the Lemon's technical guide of how not to fail tech is famous for its simplistic nature. It is literally a coloring book of giant
book.
X over that thing, check mark over the other thing. You can't, not read that and get it. It's so easy to follow. It's clearly explained for people from Georgia. And yet, so many teams fail. But as mentioned, the crew here, both sides of judging, they have a lot of experience with not just the technical stuff, but the other mistakes that rookie teams or rookies themselves or experienced racers who've been around for a couple of years have made. So in absolutely no particular order, and hopefully with lots of fascinating anecdotes and funny stories, here we go. And I'm going to throw this one out there. A number of years ago, the Don Deere team, it was a group of California college students. They had rescued a diesel Passat from one of the fires up north. It had a melted taillight that we would get reports in Black Flag of, hey, their car's on fire, their taillight's melting. It just looks like that, man. I promise you, it just looks like
It's
that.
its permanent state. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a deal.
Little late to the fire call there, Chief.
But they showed up with this diesel Passat that had survived the fire. They had one mechanic with them, and the other three were just like, the other three team members arrived in Teslas that they owned, and their one mechanic guy like showed up driving their race car. And Dr. Mary came to us about late in the afternoon on Saturday and said, hey, if you think about it, go down there and check on the guys with the John Deere. They've got a box of Otis Spunkmeyer muffins, some Doritos, and I think like some Cokes. So I think they're just literally existing on nothing but carbs. And they didn't have a shade, anything over them, and they had one tiny little AutoZone tool kit that like you would put in the back seat of your car, kind of a deal. And we went back there and hey guys, come wander the paddock and get some actual food and water and some other things on there. You guys are going to need a little bit more of a balanced diet. And I know that most of us spend all race weekend eating nothing that is green, unless it's like a lemon pop or something. But
Green candy.
yeah, it's basically just meat and beer all weekend. But
yeah, unless
that's
the
one of the
bacon
things
falls
is-
into the grass. Yeah.
Or Randy hands you a popsicle full of beans.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting any vegetables
yeah.
that weekend.
Yeah, Soggy's bacon falls in the grass. I'm totally just blowing that off, and I'm still eating it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
So-
fine.
But you don't have to go like gourmet levels of on this one, but don't think of your food and water as an afterthought. I've seen so many rookie teams literally show up with like a styrofoam cooler that has a pack of bologna, a loaf of bread, and like mustard. Dude, we're just gonna make sandwiches. It's totally gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine. If you've never done this before, you have no idea how much energy your body is going to expend.
Not just that. Some of these tracks are. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill your flow, brother. Some of these tracks are in the middle of God's country, like Randy's house. It's just like there's no stores nearby. You know what I mean? The restaurant, there's one restaurant, and maybe they'll stay open if they can get the guy to come back. Like, oh God, I broke mental.
Like, I'm out of here.
No. Just my neurospicy brain completely thinking about something else. Remembered where I put this.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's BS, Judge. Nice.
Yes, and the curry place in Camden, South Carolina closes like at 7:00. So and usually right as they run out of 93 octane.
It sounds like you run out of Camden at about 7:00.
Mhm.
For two reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Is anybody else here been to Brian? You've been to High Plains?
Yeah.
You start nowhere and then drive for 20 minutes.
Yes, exactly. You're like, woo, bison. No, those are buffalo. And then Dale and whoever he's arguing with go at it for a while,
And
Sometimes
the
it's the
one
buffalo.
hotel at that exit is full of the Lemon staff because Kim got the booking. So there's just nothing there, man. Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, that hotel is the craziest place I've ever been. But it's just one guy does everything, and then he leaves you Post-it notes like, please don't leave this light on. Don't flush these down the toilet. Just like, what? It's like, I always feel like that guy is watching me.
Yeah, it's
Because he is Brian.
Yes.
he is. It's definitely a place where you want your own RV because the track is hopping. But they have to truck everything in out there. Somebody else grab one of you. I Shellie took this very seriously. That's awesome.
What do you mean? Because I wrote so many notes?
Exactly. No,
Well-
that's a compliment, not an insult.
So mine would be for all you rookie teams and teams that have been doing it forever, not pandering to the female judges. Have you not met us? Do you not realize that we're the worst ones there? Like, come on, guys, we're terrible. I talked a team of men out of their clothes because they showed up with a theme called Party Girl, and everybody had a shirt on, and nobody was yelling woo, and I was upset about it. That you show up with Party Girl, I want Party Girl from the 90s, from the, what was that videos called? Girls Gone Wild. You remember that? That's Party, okay? That's who I want. Give me that.
Oh, that is wonderful. No one
Who
was
is that?
yelling woo.
Nobody was yelling.
I have the video. Mental, I'll send you the video. I was like, nobody's yelling woo. Nobody's shirt is waving around over their head, but it's still fully closed. I don't like this. And
Not one disappointed father anywhere around. Nope. That's
There
yeah,
was that
that's a good
there was
one.
a comedian that said he liked to watch the Girls Gone Wild videos in reverse because it looked like the girls had learned their lesson.
These fine, upstanding gentlemen learned their
Yeah.
lesson.
If you guys will all be judging Gingerman, it's fantastic. But one of the things about Gingerman is there's aside from the where they do the drivers meeting in the morning, BS and tech, it's one building. It's a
Yeah.
single car garage with 2 stories on top of it. And everyone's crammed in there a little bit, especially if it's cold or raining. And my favorite one is Shellie was going off on somebody for having some weak sauce theme, and they're trying to justify it. And literally, the guy just completely clueless goes, "Look, honey." And everyone wearing an orange shirt went, "Oh," and we all just started slowly stepping back to get out of the
Mr.
splatter
Honey
zone.
Guy, Mr. Honey Guy does not race with lemons anymore. And it was not a result of my coaching him into living a better life and treating women.
When my time in this ethereal plane is coming to an end, and like those painkillers are setting in, I'm getting like the good flashbacks. I hope that that's one of them. Just any of the people that come through the Gingerman garage and go, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to the girl. I'll get off this easy." Like if I could just loop that, like for my final moments, perfect.
Well, so I think when I was actually like new, nobody knew that I was a judge because I was like I had never been anywhere before. But then when you also show up and you're a girl in the penalty box, a lot of people just don't even assume that you are a judge. I have found great pleasure in just wandering around, on a Thursday afternoon, Friday morning before everything starts, and people not realizing that I am who they are going to talk to in a few hours. It's always a good time for me, and I remember everything.
I am the law.
I wanted to be Judge Dredd. Do you remember that, Mental, when we talked about me being Judge Dredd and you were like, you can't be because you're not terrible, but I wanted to be.
You could do that. You could do the dreadlocks thing, but yeah, your default is to smile, and it's really, really nice until someone says, "Look, honey," and then your smile gets bigger. And I grew up in the South, and I know what that means. That
means that, sweetheart.
Run.
Yeah, I've seen
loading.
I did watch her at the Corvette Museum. Some guy, it was my first race as a judge. And some guy came in and he was all hot under the collar. And you were sitting. Like, you're like, "I'm not getting up. You need to drive over here where I'm sitting," which just irritated him even more. And you were like, "You seem like you're having big feelings right now." Kind of like just came in, this dude just came in all emotional.
Somebody's big man.
You want some Play-Doh to work out what's going through you right
Yeah.
Oh.
You shut him down so fast. Like, he was so mad.
This down. I want to use that when I go to work and the pilots get all angry. "Oh, are you having big feelings, Mr. F-35 pilot?"
You should. I support you.
And then you give him a little one to play with for a while. Why don't you go work out your flight pattern?
Make the noises. Make the noises.
It has to be the one with wheels that you pull back and it springs across the desk.
Oh,
love it.
So, I like what you wrote down here, Brian, about the track day.
Oh, yes. The rookies that come that have track day experience and they think they know the line. And the advice that I have to them is to think like that little kid from the Matrix. And it's like, do not try and own the racing line. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no line. That's we had that happen where a guy's like, "Oh, I've been doing track days," because he got a black flag. And he's like, "I'm just doing track days here. I know the line." And this guy came right into it. I'm like, when you do a track day, are there 80 other cars? Because no, it's like you're going one at a time, single file. It's the same as if you were like, the difference is like leaving your house by yourself or trying to leave a stadium after a game is over. You know what I mean? You're not walking the same as you normally walk. So you're not going to drive the same as you're going to drive. And that's the thing. Yes, there is a track line, but it doesn't, when there's other cars, it's just don't get hit, don't hit anybody. And you're not going to win it in that corner. But like they say, you can lose it in that corner for sure.
Well, and that
Shall
one
you,
kind of goes back to the other one that I wrote too. That's like
Yeah.
it's an endurance race. You're not going to win in the first 2 laps. Calm down.
Yeah.
Like, we're all impressed. Good job.
especially, yeah, they get
But you
that.
still have 2 whole days left.
Yeah.
They've got that black flag in the first 30 minutes, and they're like, hurry up, hurry up! I'm losing. Get me back out of the track, buddy. You lost when your alarm went off this morning.
Mhm. That's one of the things I started doing because there seem to be a lot of rookie teams like at every race, which is awesome for the series.
Yeah.
And every time I see another rookie team, I started to go, so what's your goal for the race? And they're like, oh, we just want to finish. I'm like, no, your goal is to start and not hit anything, then finish. Like if you don't
Like
finish today,
Shelley's goal after competing for a few years is to finish.
yes, yes.
That seems to be just a mystical, made up thing.
Yeah, finishing is a stretch goal, right?
Yeah.
My first race, we
Aspirational.
did 9 laps, 9 before the car
9?
died. But yes, yeah.
That one does sting a little bit. I got a series of exchanges with there's a team that posted in a couple of the different Facebook groups on there. They're putting a GM into an old 280Z, and like their first one was, so we bought this Z for this much money and it came with all these parts, but legitimately, what should we classify it as, and how many penalty points can we expect? And there were 36 replies of, you're good, bro.
There was a reply that said you should consider bribing this judge with that spare parts that you got sitting in there, because I got one, and there might be some stuff in there that I need.
Yeah, that's
So
compelling.
If I could have that, it'd be great.
Even if she's not judging your race, bribe judge.
There's way. I got a bribe from, let's see, Road America, but I missed the 2 teams that were in South Carolina that their race ended early. I missed both of them, got the bribe sent to Georgia, and then I couldn't go to Georgia. So another team from South Carolina that went to Road America or Road Atlanta picked it up and brought it back to me. So it took like the rest of the year. But the Lemons network is vast. So if you need anything, that's another rookie lesson. Like if you need stuff, put it out, because the Lemons world will make it happen. They will
Especially
always,
for rookies. Like they're even more nurturing to rookies. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen rookies give up on fixing something and it's been fixed for them.
Yeah.
Just to see them get back out there. Like
the team of guys come over, adjust their ball caps, hand them a cooler and go, whenever I say beer me, just reach in here and give me one.
At MSR Houston, there was a rookie team that blew their engine, and another team's like, "Oh, we got another one of those. Your Honda needs a motor."
At the end of the weekend.
Boom! Let's put it in for you. Go.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw this out there too, just along that I used to do the supercar instruction thing, and there was one of the guys on here, and he was a talented track day driver, and a lot of people, and he's like, we should totally go do the 24 Hours of Lemons. We would win. And I just busted up laughing at him. He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, I've been doing it for 8 years, and no, you won't. You'll be lucky to make it to lunch. You won't finish. And I mean, trying to win, it is physically, emotionally, and financially exhausting on a level you are not prepared to understand right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one on this one, and I threw this in there, Randy Popes races all the time with Lemons, especially if it's anywhere within a day's drive of Atlanta. And if you don't know, he's on Motor Trend Television. He is an SCCA Hall of Famer. And I think he has been on a winning team twice. And one of them, it was Cerveza in the West Coast, and they'd won a couple of times, and he was on that team with them. And then, you guys have some discussions about the other one of the other famous drivers.
It wasn't a discussion. I just pointed out that Greg Biffle also drives, and I only know that because a fellow Lemons driver who is a personal friend of mine had to write him an apology letter because he made contact with him at CMP.
So my very first Lemons race, like not judging, like my first one ever was the very first Pittsburgh race. And I remember going past the past BS and like, there's a dude in there beating the hell out of a car with a bag of doorknobs. Kind of looks like Greg Biffle. Holy shit, that's Greg Biffle beating the hell out of a car with a bag of doorknobs. The doorknobs were, it was like it was a classic like, oh yeah, our bribe is over there on the desk in the bag, grab it. And they grabbed the wrong bag, and this guy just had a similar canvas bag of doorknobs, and that was a bribe. That kind of leads me to the thing of be unique, be the team that bribes, just throw non sequitur at me. Just show up like, oh, whenever you're judging, you see thousands of these schmucks a day, and most of them are in helmets. You can't tell them apart. But if you bring me a canvas bag full of doorknobs, I'm going to remember you.
Yeah.
I won't remember your name, most likely. But
Hey,
I'll remember
doorknob guy.
Yeah, you're doorknob guy forever.
I know which team gave me the air horn made out of a drill. Like,
Oh,
Nice.
the bribes.
Yes.
If bribes are good, it's a good weekend.
Yes.
It's always a good weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Randy.
I was thinking that earlier this week. The team at New Jersey, the Yeti folks, wonderful guys, wonderful team, but their bribes were so fantastic because I use them every single day. They bribed me with like a little Yeti cooler, which I hadn't had one before, and you don't buy Yeti coolers, you get them from other means like bribes. And they gave me like a knife with their team logo like etched on the blade, and that's my daily carry. So if you want me to think fondly of you for the rest of the year, give me nice things I can use.
Oh,
Yes.
or interesting stuff. You mentioned Party Girl. Now I am surprised they didn't there, but at the MSR race, I was presented with this.
Or a party girl something. Oh.
So-
Whoa.
What?
Oh yes,
Dominate.
This is
Wow.
my Lemons Rick oil painting.
Lemons
I
Rick.
love it. I love
I'm
that.
Lemons Rick.
Yes, and I bought like special packaging and paid a small fortune to have that shipped back on the airplane on there, and so yes, I the other one, there was an oil painting of Kodos and Kranos from The Simpsons, the aliens, and that one is in the Jeeves house. And so I'm
Nice.
like, yeah, I've already got one of her paintings. You can have that one because I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan, and Pickle Rick is one of my. So I brought that home and put it right, in our office. And my wife looked up and said, "Wow, no." And down it went. So it like I'll put it in places and then it gets stuffed into a closet and I have to go get it again. But yeah, it is if you can't be original like that, stuff that the judges are going to need: water, lip balm,
If you're not
sunscreen.
pulling a coffee pot out from under your wedding dress hoop skirt and giving that for the weekend, like, I'm sorry, but you can't be helped. So I did that as a bribe the last time we raced. We took a coffee pot and coffee, made like a whole coffee bar because the judges never have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's about, but we never have coffee. So if you really want to like get in there real good and be best friends, you want to start talking some C-class with Shellie, bring me coffee. Good to go.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
give you
That's not
whatever
bad.
you want.
Coffee
And
and
not just
food.
the judges. Don't
Yes.
forget, like literally, Joe is down there when it's like 12 degrees checking your wristband and, all of that whole crew.
Staff.
Yeah. There's, Rich is, stuck up at the tower. John Pagel, like 30 minutes before green flag, we don't see him again until 30 minutes after checker. He's trapped, up in the timing and scoring. So,
we saw
those guys
that
as well.
At Houston, the team that won Halloween Meets Gasoline, they had a Whataburger theme, and their car died. But they brought food every meal, and it was for staff. And they went to merch. They came to us. They went to they made sure that all the guys working pit came in, had something to eat. Like
Yep.
they're like, and they even's like, what do you guys like? And so they were bringing chicken for the guys that wanted chicken. It was crazy. It was like, that's how you brought
Don't
it.
forget poor
Always in costume.
Stacy. Don't forget poor Stacy stuck out there at the gate.
Oh, but
Never.
great. One of the things that I think a lot of people forget about too, and I didn't do it at the last race, like our last race came together at it was rough. Anyways, you can bribe the flaggers too. We used to get like little gifts, write our car number on it, like send them treats and stuff.
Oh,
Like
you
can
get away.
totally
when-
go after the flaggers.
Yeah, when
Like,
Three Pedal Mafia first started going hard, we would
just
spend
buy your
Friday.
way in, buy off
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
We would spend Friday night writing car numbers on little bags that had water, some fruit, lip balm,
Yeah.
something and there would be like 40 of those bags. And we knew it was working when, one time at CMP, we're bringing the wagon up, to the flaggers meeting. They're like, oh, here they are. Woo, we thought you guys weren't here this year. And,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to tell people to not do that. You should always do that because the type of stuff the flaggers put up with, they don't deserve.
Right.
We at Button Willow last year, we actually, for one of the punishments, we made them fix one of the flaggers' cars. Her inner wheel well had come off, and the wiper hose that is like attached to the plastic fender had come out. So she had taped it on the outside of the car, and it was a nice like little Honda Accord. And what was nice is when I told the team, I'm like, all right, your job is to make that not look so ugly. And they're like, oh God. And they took it as a personal offense that a flagger had to arrive at a track full of gearheads like that. And they took it to their garage, and they absolutely reattached it better than it was in the factory. And they found the part number, and they wrote it down in the website where she could go and order it off of eBay. Then they washed it, waxed it, checked the tire pressures all the way around, and then buffed out some scuff marks on the side of the car where she'd dinged into stuff. And she had cried. She cried when she came back from that race. And it was just, that kind of stuff. So you can do all kinds of nice things for non-lemons people and make a great name for yourself. And God knows we all need karma.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of leads to another kind of concept here of not only getting the penalty is one thing. How you complete your penalty, the attitude you take is very, very effective in what happens next.
Yes.
Like if you get excited and you just start digging into stuff like that, things are going to go well for you. If you sit and whine about it, but technically do it, I mean, I'll probably just keep punishing you because it's entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, what was it, pit race 2 years ago? Yeah, there were some team, they were really, typical. They come in black flag, they're all red misty and mad about everything. And it was just a bunch of old dudes, and I made them sort a box of Fruity Pebbles by color while singing the Flintstones theme song. But they were all really mad about it. None of them remembered the Flintstones theme song, so it was just one dude saying the word Flintstones every 20 seconds. And it was the worst commitment to a penalty I've ever seen in my life, but it made me laugh. And honestly, if I had a second box, I would have made him do it too.
And I think a lot of us have dealt with the Breaking Bad guys. They're out of Texas. I know they go to Colorado. They'll do some of the stuff down in South Carolina, and they usually show up with a fleet, like anywhere from 8, cars. And I remember they got the slab penalty. Sajeev had him do the slab penalty, and it's both awesome, but also kind of takes a wind out of your sails when they went, oh, we've been wanting to do this so bad.
Yeah.
And they
I get so excited when people are like, I've been waiting to do this one. I'm like, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the game's always more fun when they go, ooh, I want to play the game.
Yeah.
I had a team at Road America that handed me their transponder when I asked them to do a penalty. And I was like, well, it was fun, guys.
They'd rather quit racing than do a penalty.
You're not that cool, man.
Yeah,
And-
maybe
and
lemons
I'm gonna-
isn't for you.
Yeah, I'm going to steal this from one of my lines down here earlier, and it's actually it is. It's the whole thing. You're being too good for punishment. You're too much of a serious racer. You're getting beat by a Simca.
Yeah.
Yeah, like zoom out and realize that you were fighting for like 37th place. Like calm down here, Jimbo.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
just.
I'm
No.
like, listen, buddy, I don't care how cool you are. I won Class C with the third slowest car at the race. You're like,
I always feel like, did you not look around like on your way in here? Did you not really remember where you are? Like
Mhm.
a lot happening here, and a lot of it is not racing.
You've been here for 3 days, bud. You've had plenty of time to read the room.
Right? I can assure you that team did not fall for the fake tech inspection up the hill provided by Randy and staff with the PH.
By the way, probably the most fun we've ever had with the theme. That was
so
much fun.
So after the drivers meeting, I like walked down off the stage, and somebody handed me a clipboard, and they were like, turn this in. And I was like, what do you turn? You don't turn anything in. And I looked down, and somebody handed me this stupid clipboard, and the whole first page was filled out with like their name and their favorite kind of cheese. And I was like, what is happening? Why are you giving me a clipboard with your name and cheese preference on it?
If you guys have not seen, listeners, if you haven't seen the wrap up from Road America, so the legitimate League of Nigerian Businessmen, Randy's team, LOLMB, as they are also known, set up a fake pre-tech inspection in the line where everyone was going through. And it's not like this was, some super crafty, Russia during the height of the Cold War thing. The shirts were handmade and deliberately misspelled. And they're having teams weigh their tires and weigh their batteries, and people, not just rookies. Like,
I had a bunch of paint swatches of black, and I told a couple of teams that their rubbers weren't. They didn't follow the rules with their tire choice.
It was the most ridiculous thing that I have seen at a list.
And I think the staff let it go for a while because they're like, well, okay, but I think what did it is you were holding too many people up. It was starting
at the block party, the judges were going from the front of the line to the end, and they were coming from the end of the line back to the front.
I love that there's video of that in the rap video, and there's that picture of me in my fake judge shirt, and where the two judge teams meet up. Yeah. At that point, I think I was probably 6 or 7 spotted cows deep just from going around the block. And of course, half the field had the "I bribed the wrong judge's" stencil on it and everything. And
gave them stencils and everything. It was great.
So you stole the spotted cows, is what I'm hearing.
I made sure there was plenty left. I mean, it is Wisconsin after all.
They had a wagon. They had a wagon full of swag that they'd like stole from other teams, and they
stole from the judges. Like they were stealing from everybody. They were just wreaking havoc all weekend. It was a trophy for something, and then we gave it back to you with a whole bunch of crap we didn't want.
It wasn't a race for us anymore as much as it was a sociology experiment. And that was like that theory that if you show up at a work site in a white pickup truck with a toolbox and a high-vis vest, you can do anything. That's exactly what we did. Oh, yeah.
Walk quickly with a clipboard. You get it in here.
If we had, I know that one of the things that we didn't end up doing, we wanted to set up like an easy up way out in the back 40 for tire tech and just a back in 5 minutes sign, and then we just leave it for the day.
Oh my gosh.
So what I've learned, all of my interactions with you, Randy, I have come to realize that you are the human embodiment of an alignment I never thought I would meet. You are chaotic evil, sir.
I like to think of myself as more chaotic neutral, but chaotic evil, we leaned that way.
the evil stories get told more often, but no, there's I'm going with he is, having spent a lot of time with him, it is neutral. He is chaotic neutral.
I've only
Brian-
experienced
Brian
chaotic
went-
evil, Brandy.
No, Brian went evil because he's the one that had to bite into that
Oh, the
chocolate
bean,
Yeah, I'm
the
still
bean
mad.
pop.
beans jalapeno thing. So it's straight
Yeah.
up evil.
See, now,
Big-
here's
Back now.
where we run into a bit of an issue. The guy on the team that is truly evil that made the bean cake pops, like half the team is really into themes and the other half is like they just kind of go along with it. But everyone came together for the fake judge bit. And they were shooting for that HMG. And now that they didn't get the HMG, the half that doesn't usually theme, that is their Pearl Harbor Alamo moment all wrapped into one.
Oh.
So 2025 is
to-
just theme terrorism coming.
I have that after we did like the whole wedding thing, like we did it all. I made announcements. People at other races that year like thought that we actually got married at the racetrack.
It's happened. It is
Yep.
not outside
No.
of the realm of possibility.
Like we didn't win HMG for that one, and I was like, if that can't win, then I don't have it in me. Like I was wearing a dress over my suit so I could just tear that thing off. Like it was a wild weekend of nothing but wedding nonsense of sort. If I couldn't win HMG with that, I can't win it. I gave up. It's not possible. I don't have it in me. It cannot be done by me. If that was
How,
me.
how many of you guys are going to Pittsburgh? Do you know yet?
Oh shit.
Oh, I want
Don't
it.
eat squat. I ain't eating
I want
nothing.
it
you
in
can-
the show right there. But
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
of the
really.
other things on there, and this does, and when the guy from who is a product of Georgia public schools and a Nebraska state education with a liberal arts degree sits down and draws this math out for you, you should probably pay attention. But you get a lot of teams that come out there and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was a tenth of a second faster than Steve." Da 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 da. Never mind, you just used up all the tires, you used up all the brakes,
Mhm.
and they're over there fighting over tenths of seconds on the team, and they're doing this, and then their pit stops take 7 minutes
Pretty quick.
because
That's
it's
fast.
it's the Keystone Cops where they're bumping into each other and trying to, then they're spilling gasoline and it's all just flying over there. And you want to do something that is going to absolutely, I almost guarantee you, will move you up 5 places in the overall standings. Spend 45 minutes Friday night practicing your pit stops.
Yeah.
Slowly, not fast. Just like, okay, now whoever's holding the fire extinguisher steps here, does this thing. Whoever's doing this steps over here, does this thing. This person is going to hand the jugs over the rail. Then they're going to go through and do this. And then these 2 people will help the driver getting in the car, strap in the car, and off you will go. You do that and you'll be faster. But
Yeah.
no one practices the pit stops. I remember when I first started this, we actually kind of had to do that a little bit. So if you're focused on lap times, but you have no idea how your pit stop's going to go or when it's going to happen or how to do it to where you don't get black flagged on that one, you're really barking up the wrong tree on that one.
Yeah, we did have a rookie team show up at Gingerman. Remember the 2 Canadians, Shellie?
Oh, they were
Those
so
dudes.
fun.
They were adorable.
It was like 20 minutes, maybe. You just see them sitting out there, and you're like, man, they're almost there. They're so
Yeah.
close.
Here's a rookie mistake: only having 1 fire suit. Because you need at
On the
least
spot.
2 just to fuel
Yeah.
the car.
I've told this story
They
before, but
made
I'm
it
gonna,
weird.
I'm gonna tell it again. There was a 2011. It was my second Lemons race. I had just done the Wartburg with what would become the 3 Puddle Mafia. I went back to Oklahoma and talked all my friends into it. And I had a Miata that I had bought out of a police impound, and we turned that into our Lemons car. And we go down to Eagles Canyon, and it was a high school team running a Volvo that they had legitimately purchased for like $100. And the cage was a nightmare. And the Jay, this is back when Jay was still going on and judging and doing races. And Jay goes, go down into the pits, find a guy named Justin, who was on my team, and go, and don't bring me this car back until he says it's good. And like they went through an entire spool of welding wire getting this cage corrected. Good kids. They were all like senior 18-year-old, and they would refuel the car at the pumps. Mom would use the little credit card and go there. And they started to realize about halfway through that Texas afternoon that maybe they should have gotten another suit, when one guy would be sliding his arm into the just worn fire suit that his teammate had gotten out of. And you could see the look on his face. It's like he just bitten into a cake pop with beans and jalapenos in it. Just, oh,
Yeah.
I'm being marinated in randy juices. Yeah.
Yeah.
$20 is $20, Brian.
I'm not hearing a no. Did
So,
you tell
yeah.
that
Really good.
last week? Or yeah, that was, I mean, I remember, I was like, I've heard that story. It's a great
Oh.
story, because it is. It's, yeah, bring more than one fire suit. At least two.
Yeah.
I wanted to share my rookie mistake, because it is one of the mistakes I think that a lot of rookies make is pride. And the pride can be on so many levels, but one is thinking you understood what they said. And this is where I screwed up. At my very first race, we brought the diesel Chevette up to Gingerman, and we didn't have enough money to do the track day. So we didn't do track day. So when we come to the driver's meeting, I think Jay was doing it, and he goes, just to let you know, you're going to enter and exit the track different than you did on track day. When you exit the track, you're going to go where you entered. And I heard that, and my brain's like, got it. So I go out for the green flag. It's the first time our car has ever been on track. We go out, and immediately something's wrong with the car. I'm like, something's not right. I've got this thing floored, and I'm doing 38. You know, and of course it's a diesel Chevette. Maybe that's what I should have expected, but I felt like it should go a little faster. I'm like, I know this is capable of freeway speeds. So I was like, something's wrong. And then also I learned another rookie mistake. Walkie-talkies are not good everywhere. Like they couldn't hear me on the back of the track. It was like this dead zone, and I'm panicking. So I'm freaked out by the time I get to the front straight. And all I remember was Jay Lamb's voice going, you exit where you enter the track. And so I went right up pit entry there in turn 2 at Gingerman. People are running down the hill doing this, and I'm like, hi, like what?
Oh, hey.
All I
He's up
needed was
on
a
pit road with the
follow-up
track
question
gun.
is, on this track map, what do you mean? If I had taken the time to go, where does entry and exit really happen? No, I'd never seen the track before. I had no idea there was an exit way off in turn 11 or whatever that is. Yeah, that was so if you ever hear a story of somebody going up pit entry to exit, that was me. I did that in 2011.
That's a good point, though, like not knowing where to get on and off the track, because at Road Atlanta, I ended up using the wrong seat insert and could not see over the dash, and I did not think that I was going to make it.
Yeah.
But I also could not see where you like pit in, because I could not see over the dash while going up the hill, and I missed the line, and I did like all these other things because I couldn't see, and then I had to do it again.
Yes.
And then when I did it the second time, I was like, we're just going to stay on the left side of the track. We're going to stay all the way to the left. Everybody else can do whatever everybody else has to do, but I'm getting off of this thing right now. Right now. So,
yeah.
But if you're a rookie, ask questions.
Take a look at the track.
Yes.
Like, make sure. You can always ask the judges about the track too. If you're unsure, just go to the penalty box before you go out and be like, hey, where do I go in? Where do I go out?
And we keep 5-gallon buckets of sarcasm in Black Flag at all times
in our pockets.
but I do promise you, if you come to us with a procedural or a safety question, we are going to give you a straight answer.
Yeah.
And then honestly, we'll probably make fun of somebody else. The other thing that is interesting about that is you talk about the pride of this one is you made a heinous mistake. Like you literally drove against traffic.
Well, nobody was coming.
because you understood, oh man, that's a major screw up, and you owned it. Look at you now. And so many people, they want to turn this into this, well, it should have done it, or this should have had, even, and I'm going to go into my last thing here about is this whole thing about, you need to be right. You need to win this argument. And I'm not saying any place is worse than this, but New Jersey is absolutely the worst about this. Is they're going to sit there.
Not worse. Are you sure New Hampshire? Because I went to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's there. It's
just
close,
Jersey, but cold with horse breakfast.
But Jersey, like I saw Aaron Cole get angry in New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Someone made Aaron Cole mad. Like you have to wake up with a 6-point bullet plan throughout your day.
Yeah, you set out with an agenda that day, sir.
Yeah, and if you do, you're an idiot because he's like 6'2", and he's not a small guy.
And it's just really nice. Why do you want to make
super nice guy? Exactly, but he did that. So so let me just throw this out there. Yeah, you know what? You got cut off. Totally got it. That car is driving way too aggressive. There's out there. Yes, that flagger absolutely got the wrong car, and you probably weren't speeding in the paddock. You were friggin' speeding in the paddock. You were always speeding in the paddock. But if you're gonna sit there and argue with me or any judge in the penalty box, I'm gonna go get a chair. This is fun for me. Meanwhile, you're not turning laps. And
I don't really like to argue, but I do like to converse. So, I just hang out and we chat like girlfriends until I'm ready for you to go again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right because I'm always right. That's the first rule when you open the Lemons rule book.
It is.
Shellie is right.
Shellie is right.
And Shellie, you threw this in there because I do get a little tingly inside if anyone comes to me and starts quoting regulations from National Auto Sport or Sports Car Club of America or the Porsche Owners Group or the BMW CCA on track regulations.
You better not think that I don't know the SCCA rules because
and you proceed to tell me that I'm wrong, and this falls under Randy saying oh well and the SCCA do this, and this and this. That car's got a giant dick right there on its hood. Did you not notice we're not in the SCCA? That is a horse molded on top of a 75 Lincoln Continental covered in fur. We are not at the Nationals, buddy. Okay. This isn't the runoff. So don't do this thing Shelley's going to tell you not to do.
Yes.
What you've never seen denim covered Lincoln Town Car class at runoffs?
Nope. You have not.
But
the
please,
rule in this for going into a corner, you're not there. We're not there.
Please, board of director member for was it the Southeast region?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I was on the board. I'm actually retired now. I stepped down from everything this year. So I'm taking a break, but I was the regional executive for the South Carolina region for about 5 years, I think, 5 or 6 years. But I was also a time trials and road race chair. So I've run the events that everybody wants to talk to me about. Like I'm the one that put the rules in your SUPs, guys. I know them. And by the way, when you show up at a Lemons race and your suit has all those SCCA patches on it, I know exactly who I'm talking to. Exactly.
And the AER.
All your patches tell me everything I need to know.
It should be telling that we are this deep in a discussion of what not to do, and we are just now getting to things that you do while driving.
But Has anyone here, upon administering a punishment, reversed your decision because someone brought you an iPad
No,
after the checker flag?
no.
See, you're right there. Do you see the wheel twitch?
Actually, I just
Dude, that's a
recently had,
gremlin. I
believe that was
what did you expect?
in New Hampshire where I was like trying to talk to somebody like while being shown a video. And I finally just said, why do y'all think that I care about your dumb videos? I don't want to see it. I wasn't out there. I don't care what happened. The flagger waved a flag at you and then he came and talked to me about it. I don't need a video. You can stand here as long as you'd like, but you're just not driving during
Yeah.
that time. So
We I did
say
have
the one-
one
Okay.
get reversed because of a video, but it literally had to go to the tower. The guy came in, the owner came in with the car, and he was so hot and just absolutely raging. And Kim had to get up. Like, she got up and went over, and she's like, tell you what, we're going to go up and look at the camera in the tower. I'll let you know. The guy had gotten flagged for like 4 off or something. He's like, he didn't go off. Like, he didn't go off. They got the wrong car. They got the wrong number. It's the same color, different number, whatever. And she's like, we're going to look at it. We'll let your guy go back. And they go up and they look. She comes down and says, I want to apologize. You were right. They flagged the wrong car. It was a mistake. We've credited your lap back. And as she's saying that to him, I was covering Tippy Tap over there for her. They got flagged for going for off for real. and he was like so just passionately angry the first time. And when the next one came in, he's like, yeah, he did it. Like, it was like but it was one of the, it did get reversed. The guy was right that one time, but it didn't matter because they immediately screwed up again. So, whatever.
It's like a speeding ticket. Look, I get speeding tickets, and I've never gotten a speeding ticket I didn't deserve.
Yeah.
And when I'm busted, nope, we're good, bud. I'm gonna weasel my little ID into the thing and try and get it knocked down. But I just consider it a usage tax. So if you get tagged for something you didn't do, suck it up, because you got away with a bunch of other crap that nobody else caught.
If someone's
there's
coming
always
up with
something else
video,
going on there.
oh yeah. If someone's coming up with video, it's going to be a form of whining, and it's never going to go well for them, with the exception of one time. It was at Jersey last year. Some guy comes up, he's that Jersey red, that color of anger.
Jersey.
And he shows me
Red
this
Devil.
video. Yeah, there it is. And the video is somebody else. I don't think this is even what he was trying to show me. I don't remember because I don't care. But what he showed me was some dude in like a third gen Eclipse on the edge of losing it, fishtailing for like a quarter mile. And it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. So like that time,
Could you send that to me?
I did ask him to. I have it somewhere. But like, if you're doing this to whine, it goes to the main point of don't fucking whine. It's not getting you anywhere.
Well, just so you guys know, I've decided that anytime I am being shown a video, I'm going to have a video to show them. I don't know what it is yet,
Oh,
but I'm
that's
going to find
good.
something and be like,
I know
"Oh,
what video it is.
you
Such
should look at
as-
this. You want to do like a little, such as, I personally believe that the U.S. Americans don't have maps.
Such as.
You guys know who she is, don't you?
In places such as the Africa.
Yeah.
You know exactly who she is. Yeah.
That's
You
a
should
great
make
one.
them watch that. Oh, I have a video for you.
Well, thank you for showing me this
doing
video.
a reenactment of that.
Oh, and the other thing, do not add anything to make your car go faster. Do that after you've finished a race, then start making the car go faster. I just want to make sure I covered that one. And then this last one, and it's rare. I think I've maybe seen it 3 times, and I've heard about it, maybe in other type things, but it's like actually cheating, not like not the kind of cheating. Like once we bolted a turbo under our Honda, and we didn't want him to pop the hood. So we did this like extended dance so that we took up all of the.
So that Shellie wouldn't look at it because she was.
That's a foolproof plan.
It was Gangnam Style was like really popular. So we recreated the entire video. Then it turned out that the turbo made the car overheat, made it slower because it leaked too bad. We spent all night putting it back on there. So we learned our lesson. But I have heard of and seen a team that after tech rolls through and has racing tires on, like actual, no kidding, 80 tread wear. That's not like the field, that's an insurance regulation. All right. And it's always one of these, dude, what's up with these tires? Oh, sorry. We forgot. I did not know. All right. At this
I got
point,
them from the junkyard off of something else, and they conveniently fit.
I'm not going to be funny, amusing, stuff like that anymore. Now I'm going to be a dick. Just violating the fueling rules, trying to gain some kind of advantage. Just stop that. And then literally ignoring flags. We had a driver was like, well, I'm ignoring the black flag because I didn't do what they said I did. What'd they say you did? Well, they said I went off in his corner. No, we got you for passing under yellow back over here.
It's
and
you,
by the
slice.
by the way, this would have gone a lot faster, but you were out there for another 8 laps because you were convinced you were right, and now it's just going to be stupid. And now your team hates you because we hate the team, kind of a deal. Just, let's assume you cheat. You cheat really, really well. What are you going to win? $500?
Yeah.
Is that even going to cover the fuel bill to tow your car there? No. Just don't.
Definitely not going to cover the cost of all the cheaty parts that you put in it.
I'm like, if you're cheating to win, you're clearly not going for the big prize of HMG, so
it's for IOE.
It's not even to cover the cost of the normal not cheaty parts that you went through that weekend. So just don't, and then anytime a system is based on trust, you're not smarter than the system by cheating. You're just a jerk. So on that,
we have this weird way of knowing when something's just not right out there. We can tell. We'll figure it out.
Well, and it is an amusement that people come through and they think that we're just we were the Uber driver from when the staff showed up at the airport. They decided to have us come out there and do that. I've gotten I know Jay Lamb. Yeah, I know Jay Lamb. I know Jay Lamb too.
I happen to have the special skill of being just a dumb girl out there. Nobody thinks I know what I'm looking at or talking about. And they love to talk to me about all the fun stuff that they put on their car.
You're like, what's that?
I know. It's like, oh my gosh, this looks so shiny. What did you do to make it shiny?
Oh my god.
I think there's some merit behind this idea. There's some merit behind this idea of just making a random Uber driver a judge for a weekend.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, bud, you busy today? Okay, I got something. You're going to want to try this.
Which part of this is the motor?
Oh, I do love that. I think Mental, you've seen Dumb Girl Brain pretty strong, I think.
Oh, and the funny thing is anyone that, I don't want to say anyone that falls for that, anyone that steps into that trap.
There's a lot of them.
They do so out of such arrogance that you could literally stand there next to them going, that is a trap. Do not put your foot there. And they're going to go, I know where I'm putting my foot.
Hang on. I'm talking to this dumb girl real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't know how dumb I really am. That's
right.
all.
And there's an interesting stat without marketing specifically to to women or any sort of other social. Lemons has the highest percentage of females of any race series, literally ever.
There's
Really?
a lot of all girl teams.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like to the point where like, and we're all girls. Yeah, so are they, and technically they're not
We're
all
not.
girls, but that guy,
We're
but
not cool
it's
anymore.
you are still cool. You're just not. It's not noteworthy on that one. But I'll throw this out there. Unless they are like saying, "Hi, I'm a rookie. I've never done this before." If you run across a lady in the paddock, there's like a 80% chance they're better than you.
Yeah.
She's seen a car before, especially if she's wearing a robe at a Lemons race. Because I'm just an Uber driver, clearly Lemons met me from somewhere, and it was probably from racing there.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
It's interesting when we managed to win Class C with the diesel Chevette, it was because of our female driver. And it was because she was the only one that could keep her head cool and stay out the longest. Because the rest of us were all like, I'm going to be a tenth of a lap faster than you. We were doing all the dumb guy stuff. And her nickname's Enduro Steph because she would just go in the car and she would click off laps that were within like 100th of a second from each other. They were wicked consistent, just kept going. It was like, we're just gonna put Steph in the car for 3 hours, just because we don't have to stop for gas. Yeah.
Like the last time we took the Simca out, that's what we did to Mike Berge, the guy with the Maricore.
I know Mike. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He went out for the first trip in the Simca. He just sips gas. He was out there for 4 hours. He's just like comes back, Subaru's blown to pieces in a yard sale in the paddock. But yeah. I think Mike might have the record for the most seat time in a Simca in this century. Like, there's nobody that can come close to him, and he did it in a weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
One day.
Yes. I will tell the stories for eons about how every time I have gotten into an on-track battle with Mary Harris, I've shown up with more horsepower than whatever she was driving. And then every time she proceeds to school me for 5 laps, just absolutely. I remember one time the guy that owned the car at Barber, he's up on the tower and he's like, Mental, there just comes a time when you're just flirting because she was just humiliating me nonstop. And I tell everyone that story. Yeah, people know what they're doing. Yeah.
Dr. Mary, she's wicked smart. Don't mess with her.
Oh, yeah. It's you're playing checkers and she's playing that Star Trek 3-dimensional chess the whole time. But some lessons coming out of here for rookies. If you just fast forwarded to this part, you're not going to win. You're probably not going to finish. And not finishing, perfectly acceptable. The worst thing that could ever happen is your first race weekend goes really, really well.
Debate on that one.
Then that becomes like the expectation.
Yeah.
Read the room. Don't be a jerk. I like this one down here from Randy. Don't be an asshole, but be memorable. Weird bribes are funny, SpaghettiOs in a suitcase, shit like that. That's always hilarious.
Cool stuff we can use.
Yeah. Stuff you can use. That's always good. I don't think we even tried to win until we've been doing this for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Make sure you're feeding everybody and make sure everyone's hydrated, all that. Don't make the car any faster. Just make it finish on this one. Around the room, what else? Just one more thing for the rookies.
Meet the Lemons paddock. It's one of the best things that you can do. Just go meet people. They're the best people that you're going to meet at a racetrack. And they will be lifelong friends.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
For sure. You will learn something about something.
Yeah. Life, your car, like people. You don't know what it's going to be, but it will be something.
The habits of Polish military in an
Yeah.
occupied zone. Learned that at a lemons race. And it was not a joke. I was expecting it to be a horrible racist joke, but it was. He's like, "Oh no!" He's like, "They come in, they don't have a lot." Anyway, I can tell you about that
It's
someday.
just sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, "Where is this going?"
I think for me, just show up and have fun. That's all anyone should be there for, is to make sure the same number of people show up, have fun, and the same number of people goes home. That's like your goal should be that on a post-it note, and that's it. Like, just, kids.
Yeah, and if you're an object, to tag onto that one, come to have fun, and if your fun was wrapped around the performance of the car and the car explodes, find something else fun because it's there. I promise you something fun is happening somewhere. Like Shellie said, wander the paddock, meet the other teams, just go around and have a good time. I know someone that showed up that is not a racer, knows nothing about cars, had an absolute blast just meeting people and letting them talk about their stuff, and it was like, that was fascinating. I had no idea what they were saying, but loved it. So
we had two guys that had never been to a lemons race before this year for Road America for our fake judge bit. Like, that was their intro.
Nice.
But we spent a weekend because our car was busted, and only so many people can work on it at a time because it was a transmission failure, because that's where we succeed in all things, is busting transmissions. But there was another team that had lost, I think it was 3 of their teammates, and it was a full 24. So like half of our team went and drove their car while they slept. So like, you don't know how your weekend is going to go, but you could end up driving God only knows what else is out there just because somebody else is in trouble and they need people, but their car works. So
find where Derek Steinkamp is driving and know that you won't be able to drive that car next.
I love Derek. Oh, yeah. Derek's one of those people you just sit down and talk to. It is.
Yeah. And talk to Donnie as long as you're not a judge. Otherwise, you will make a mortal enemy like I have. So, Dr. Florida Man is my new nemesis, and I couldn't be more delighted. So,
yes, it's very much not so much Justice Leagues as very much Venture Brothers. When they had the headquarters in there. Okay, so. Moving on, next week, the regular crew is back. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. We're going to try and play that one out of ear, but not to worry. It's going to be one of our fantasy shopping episodes. And the theme is, we want to hear from you, and I'm going to ask the 3 of you as well, your cars you secretly like but would never actually own. I had a Harley Davidson for a little while, and it wasn't the bike the reason I got rid of that motorcycle. It was the people that are associated with those kinds of motorcycles that I just couldn't do that. All right. So cars you secretly like, and here's where I'm going to spill my guts. A stick shift Dodge Challenger 392. I drove one of those on a track. It was like the Hertz Super Rental section on there. It was awesome. It made all the great noises. It just jumped into smoky power slides out of the corner while it just absolutely devoured tires and brakes like my dog if I dump a bag of Cheetos on the floor. And I just loved driving it and had a hoot. Could not be seen in one ever. Just do not want to be associated with that crowd. And that's from a guy who up until today drove a Miata around Las Vegas with a Chihuahua in my lap. The other thing about owning a Dodge 392 is my credit score is actually over 300. So I don't know if I'm allowed to, and I like to wear my pants around my waist instead of down.
It goes that high?
Demographic shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
wait, how high does credit score go?
So
that is a team name right there. How high does credit cord go?
So, Randy, you voluntarily raced a Simca more than once. So your tolerance for cars you don't want to be. Yeah. The cars you don't want to be seen in is pretty high, but what car do you love that you just could not be seen driving?
anything
Nope.
resembling self-respect. Like I've got nothing close to self-respect, so this
Yeah.
is a difficult one. I don't know, probably like a mall crawler or something like that, like a brodozer, just to
Yeah.
drive over like a Miata or something one day, just to see what it's like. Not because I want to, just because like it's a science experiment at that point.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
Shellie, you're a hardcore Nissan person.
Well,
Despite
I do.
all evidence that you are an otherwise intelligent, well-adjusted person, there's some deep childhood trauma that just gravitates you towards Nissan.
Yeah. And my car choice is only going to get worse and make you think less of me. I really and truly deep down have a secret love for minivans, and it is not specific. And I would drive any one of them if they would just tow. If they would tow my race car, you would see me every day.
Yeah.
Soccer mom in it everywhere I go. And I don't even care if I'm seen in it. I love them so much. I love everything about them. It's either that or possibly an old Impala straight up dump with like big fat rims and obnoxiousness. Like it would be one of those two.
And you get out of it on your like way into like for a work meeting, and they're like, is that that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
If you put some like elbows and some swangers on an Odyssey, you get both worlds. I don't know what the
It's the best of both worlds.
I hope you guys are writing that down for what car should I bring to Lemons? A
Yeah.
conked out Swanger minivan. Duh.
Yeah.
And you
Love
won't
it.
even be the first one.
I know. Like
We need more.
Yes.
so much more. There needs to be some more obnoxiousness as far as cars go at Lemons.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like we're getting into the point now where stuff that's getting to Lemon's age is stuff that shouldn't be race cars. Like we're getting deeper into the appliance era. And I'm getting kind of excited for that because we're this close to somebody pulling off like a Nissan Mulan Rogue moment.
it could be me. You don't know what's brewing in my backyard.
Mocha chocolata, yeah.
My my first Lemons race, we did it in a Honda Civic and a B210. So I'm like halfway there.
Yeah, B210s are getting too nice for Lemons.
Yeah.
Not mine. Not mine.
Maybe you need a
Mine
better mechanic. I just want to know why nobody has brought a Honda Odyssey and themed it like Homer's Odyssey, but with Homer Simpson doing all the things from Homer's Odyssey, like the Iliad. I'm like, why can it not be Homer's Odyssey? Like, come, somebody, please.
I feel like that's you, Brian. I feel like that's your new thing. I'll join your team because I want to drive a minivan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I know what I'm. Somebody get Racing Junk and see if there's an Odyssey on there, right?
Oh, I can that they are the Honda Odysseys, especially the first gens, have now run into they are starting to fall out of the working class handyman, lawn care guys. So that are buying them with 300,000 miles. They are on the Facebook marketplace with no rust and zero straight panels on any of them. And they're missing some of the seats. And, it's like engine made ticking noise or no title, bill of sale, which means you pawn the title and you quit making the payments on it. But yeah, those are available out where I live. We're going to talk. This is
So
if only we knew a Honda expert. Oh.
So fun fact, the second gen Odyssey that's sitting out in my garage right now, like most of you guys have seen that red, like the SS probable cause, terrible machine. But that J35 does old school VTEC. So I'll just be driving around in my minivan at like 4,200. It goes, and then the transmission explodes because it's, an early thousands Honda, whatever.
All right.
I love that van. You can't pull that van on my cold dead fingers.
Brian, what is your secret, your guilty pleasure car, your Rick rolled, your in sync song on four wheels?
So I, much like Randy, have no self-respect. And I love weird and unusual cars. But for me, a car that I absolutely love and I could not be seen in because I don't have the gravitas or the sense of self-righteousness to own one of these. But I would love a 1972 Ferrari 246 GT. I love that car, but I just don't have enough douchebag in me to step out of it in a crowd of people. You know, like I would like secretly drive it into and out of the garage and not be seen anywhere because I could not handle the gawking.
I think that
Um,
there's a handful of lemons teams that I could introduce you to, and you could learn that life skill from. They could
I
teach
don't
you
want it.
how to do it.
That's a great punishment. You're going to have to give douchebag classes. I'm going to need look around and see, oh, who's the nicest person? Yeah. That guy over there, Brian, you're going to have to turn him into a douchebag before you can get back onto track.
This sounds like something that needs to happen in Jersey.
Oh, I lived in Jersey long enough to know it's lousy with douchebags.
Jamokes.
Jamoke, that's right.
I think we need to get together and go to Jersey, and I will be Miss Teen South Carolina, and you will learn how to be like the biggest jerk on the planet. I think
Oh, now,
they will.
and not only like do you do they don't have the maps
Yeah.
as well. You have to do the full Southern thing where, oh, isn't it just lovely today? How's the weather? And they have to answer that
The day,
question. How's your
the day
mom's
that
and them? Did
Mom
you
and them,
see what she was wearing at church last Sunday?
I
So you got to run the full gambit before you're allowed to even talk about what they're in
so
the
the
Mhm.
penalty box
problem
for.
is the day that I show up is like Miss Teen USA from South Carolina. It has to be a race that's warm enough that I can do a full ball gown because I'm all in. I'm going fully committed, and I couldn't do it at the tracks that I've been to last year because it was too cold. So I need
Mhm.
a winter race that's not in the South so that everyone has a chance to experience
Yeah.
judging.
I would say April 16th because it's not too
April
warm and you
25th.
just April 25th
You
and you just need
just
a
need
light
a
jacket.
Wait, what is that from?
Miss Congeniality.
Thank you. Okay. You like me. You
That's the
want to
perfect.
kiss me.
Oh, all right. If anybody wants to promote their socials, you are welcome to do so. But also, if you don't want our listeners bothering you, that's perfectly acceptable as well.
I mean, looking around me here in the Manifesto Mansion, I don't know, just pay attention to some hand scribbled manifestos that come out in the next couple of weeks, I guess.
I am going to tell people that they should go to your YouTube channel of Cones and At because it's friggin' hilarious.
Oh God, I need to put more stuff out on that. I think I'm going to start recording me doing home improvement things lately because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you need to do it as like how-to videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how to? But oh man,
And
I
then
think
just
we just invented Scotty Kilmer of home improvement.
I was going to go with like red, green, but live action.
Yeah.
Live action red green
Yes.
on ice.
Oh. All right. So, all right. Dude. Nope. We don't want anybody else following us at all. They're all too weird. But
I'm gonna, you know what? I will drop in. Wait, where'd the show notes go? Did I just delete them? Sorry. I will add my my Spotify. Sorry, I was having.
Oh yeah, we need your song.
You need to hear
Absolutely.
me
Your
rocking
band.
hard and then rocking soft. So let's see. I have to say there is one song on there where I have an acoustic guitar solo that I'm very proud of. It's on a song called "Drowning," and it's like 2 minutes into the song. But anyway, so
So let's see. You said this was recorded on Dale Earnhardt Day, so this was early '01. So are one of the tracks like, man, the '90s are great and will never end?
yeah.
Oh. All right. So thank you all. I know that the arrangement of this was, and I'm keeping several of you up past your bedtime because y'all are East Coasters and I'm out here on the West Coast. Yeah. So thank you all very, very much. This has been great. So yeah. And yeah, if you don't listen to Brian's album, it might help you get out of a penalty if you pull in and go, hey man, I totally loved your backup on, this song. You might get out of penalty a little bit early. So
you know what an ultimate bribe is? Somebody coming and doing a cover song of one of my tunes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so there goes DJ 914 straight to your Spotify channel so he can learn it. That'll probably happen actually at New Jersey. All right. So thank you all very much for joining me. This has been fantastic. I'm going to hit stop recording.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.